All right, very good.
Good morning. I'm Mary Johnson. Is it?
Yes. And you are, Miss Johnson, a bit about what brings you to the Jesse Tree.
Well, I was sick and I was off of work, so I didn't have insurance anymore. So I was just looking through to try to get somebody to assist me into my needs for my medical needs. And I stumbled upon the Jesse Tree.
And a bit about your particular medical needs.
Well, I'm a diabetic and I need to learn how to manage my diabetes and just to keep myself physically fit to ward against illnesses that's related to diabetes.
How long have you been a diabetic?
I have been a diabetic since 2005.
When you were diagnosed as a diabetic, what were some of your readings?
Well, I just got sick one day and they took me to the hospital. When I went, it was 500.
And what did they tell you at that time?
That if I don't, we're just going to spell it out to you. If you don't do what we tell you to do, you will no longer be with us. So they gave me insulin for the time that I was in the hospital. Once I got out, I read, ate fruits, vegetables, my portion of meat, orange juice, diet sodas, water, cranberry juice, 102, 104. Highest it would be like 132. I walked, I ate.
Do you remember what your A1C was when you first were diagnosed as a diabetic?
God, I don't remember, but it was out the box. Everything was out the box.
Do you know what your A1C is now?
It's 6.8.
Say that again?
6.8.
Your A1C is 6.8. And how has participating in the Jesse Tree Core Connections Chronic Conditions class help you manage your condition?
I now know what I need to do to stay focused, to do what I need to do, and I'm not as easily to get off track as to what I need to be doing.
What were the things that you were getting off track on?
Even though I knew I was sick, I might eat what I want to eat. And now I'm very cautious. You eat, if you're going to eat banana pudding, you get a tablespoon, eat that, sit yourself down somewhere.
So one of the things that you learned in the class was it's not denying yourself foods that you might like, but it's the quantity of the food that you're eating.
I can eat anything I've always eaten, just eat within moderation.
And that's something that your instructor and participating in the class has stressed.
Okay.
What other activities have you learned? Goal setting.
Well, my goal is to get my A1C down, and I love walking, but I have arthritis and stuff. I'm trying to get it better so I can start back walking. I used to walk 1.5 miles twice a day. I don't have to go that far, but I can start back walking. Now I'm on the exercise bike. I don't like it as well.
Who are your instructors in your class?
Mr. Johnny and Miss Jackie.
Okay.
How have you found the support from the other clients in the class? How has that been beneficial to you?
We all here learn from one another, where they might be short on something. It might be one of my strong points, or where I'm short on something that might be one of their strong points, and we share that. If somebody falls off the bandwagon, somebody else might can tell them how they can redirect and get themselves back on track in a positive way.
That's good.
Does it scare you when you see a lot of paperwork?
I've been to school, I've done research papers. How will you know what we are doing if you don't have paperwork to see it's not just enough of me telling you that I know this. If I have it on paper, you will see that I know what I'm saying I've been doing. That's your way of knowing that. Keeping track.
How do you feel? Do you feel that some of your other clients might feel intimidated with the paperwork? Because sometimes you reach out to give people answers or help people with things. How do you think that they receive that?
I don't know if people feel intimidated. I've been to school for 6 years, college for 6 years, and some people might have just came out of high school. They might be intimidated by that. I'm not. I know what I learned. I wasn't frightened to come here. I know what I've been taught here. I know about the interaction. Just say what you've learned. Every day I leave from here, I look over this at least 2 or 3 times a week, so I can be familiar with things that have been going on.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.